Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends X-Men 97 MORPH. And I've been told by a few of you that it's not a very good figure. And it definitely has a few things on it that are not the right way. It's shockingly strange the way things are done. And then other things are more of the same and decent enough. So there's some reason to watch this review if you're into this line. If you're not into this line, then if you're watching it, I appreciate you watching the videos anyway. And any viewership is awesome. But yeah, this one may not, like, you can probably already decide for yourself if you want to get it. But I'm going to review it anyway because that's my job. And hopefully some of you stick around for it. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. It is more of the same packaging. The artwork here looks pretty good. We'll reference that again. I love it. We always have some nice reference material right here. And then here's the figure and the other ones. Should I review all of these? I don't know if it's worth it, guys. Do you want me to review all of these? Most Marvel Legends probably aren't really worth reviewing at this point, but since it's my job, if you want it, I will do it. I definitely will do him. I don't know if these guys need it at all, but we'll see. But there's the packaging. He's in stock at Big Bad Toy Store. If you want to get one, I'll put a link in the description below. And if you don't, then you can click the link and look for something else, or don't click it at all. That's your prerogative. He stands roughly 16 centimeters at the top of his head, and that's going to make him just about 6 and, I don't know, 3/8, give or take. Here is his long-lost cousin, Darwin, which surprisingly has a far superior sculpt. So that's interesting. You know, just as an aside, somebody asked me the other day, a serious question, why do I use Darwin as my Marvel Legends comparison? And somebody responded for me, and they were pretty much right, but I added to it. It's because of Darwin's ability. I think it's funny that he is the comparison because he can adapt to his different situations, but also it's like the plainest Marvel Legends figure out there, and it was one of the first figures to be at the higher $26 price point. So he kind of became an iconic member of the channel for not great reasons. Alright, so that's why we use him. And let's go ahead and talk about the aesthetic on this guy. It is super cartoony, we'll get to that, but first I just want to say the figure doesn't match the artwork once again. Artwork looks like more or less a traditional looking morph, looks like an adult man. The figure, on the other hand, at best looks like a teenage boy, and the head sculpt is very, very feminine. That is super feminine. Anybody that's ever sculpted, and I'm not an expert sculptor of females, but I do know head shapes. That is a female head shape if I ever saw one. So that's a strange thing. I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe he looks like that in the cartoon, but I'm going on this because I haven't watched the cartoon. I'm going on this image right here, and that's not what it looks like. And that's not what I've seen traditionally from Morph, so I don't know. So maybe that's why you guys were saying it was a bad figure. But yeah, that does not look like a man, even a little bit. So that's very strange to me. I don't like this. That looks more like a guy. I don't know. I don't get it. We'll talk about that in a second. But otherwise, it's fine for Marvel Legends. It does have the super cartoony X-Men 97 look. And so everything about it is fine, except for one thing other than the head. The chest. What happened to the chest? From what I can tell, he's supposed to just be shaped like a normal person. But instead, we have this weird U shape going on, like he's got some kind of armor plate. But then also, we still see pecs underneath. I don't know what that sculpt is supposed to be at all, even for the cartoon look, and it's not hidden under the coat. I have no idea what's going on here. So if anybody can enlighten me, that would be great. I'd appreciate it, and I'm sure other viewers might too, but that sculpt is super strange. So yeah, between the chest and the head, this guy's a no-go. It's a non-starter for me, because, like, I mean, I don't care about X-Men 97, and somebody asked me how I display these figures. I don't. I'm going to sell all the X-Men 97 stuff. I couldn't care less about it. It's not the original cartoon, and I'm not interested in watching some kind of new version of what was really good. So anyway, I just don't care about this. But these two things look really weird. The paint job here is fine. The paint job here is fine. Otherwise, it's all plastic. Like, there's almost nothing to make this look like a nice figure. It's got that Pixar sculpt, of course. But then we also have weird things like the knees are sculpted super strangely. We'll talk about those when we get to the articulation. It's a very strange thing for not like a super popular character, so it's weird. I don't know. I'm curious how you guys feel about it. Maybe nobody likes this figure and I just don't know because I don't pay attention to this show. Or maybe they don't like, I don't know what's going on. It seems like this figure was neglected to some degree by Hasbro. So The aesthetic on this guy is not particularly good. I'll say 5 out of 10. And now as far as the accessories go, you do get 3 heads, which is fitting for MORPH. So you get the one where it's like his normal face, and I guess this is fairly accurate to the show. It's actually really well painted and well sculpted in terms of the individual details. It does look fairly effeminate though, so I'm not sure. I don't know, maybe there's something about MORPH that I don't know, but it doesn't look like the MORPH I remember from the original X-Men show, so unless they change the way he looks a lot, there's that. But it is technically a good sculpt. And then we have this one. Is this Trask? I can't remember anymore. It's been forever since I watched the cartoon, but this is actually pretty well done too, other than the glasses are a little bit strange. It's nice enough, and I know some of you are going to call out the lip coloring. Yeah, maybe it's a little heavy, but people's lips tend to be much darker than their face, so I don't mind that as much as most of you do. And then lastly, you get some fist hands to go with his open hands. So like, I guess it's fine. Does he not use a gun or anything in the show? Like, does he just walk around changing his face and punching people? Maybe that's what he does. I don't know. I'll go 7 out of 10 for accessories. It seems fine. But I would just think if your only ability is to change your face, which I know it's not, he can change his whole body, right? I assume. Otherwise it wouldn't work much. Anyway, he just has his X-Men costume and different faces, so it doesn't make him very useful as a character, it seems. Anyway, let's talk about the articulation. So, the head is on a lollipop, old style disc hinge, which like lets him look up and down fine and rotate his head, and leaning it is a thing, but barely, and it's at the wrong spot, so still not a great joint. The shoulders, let's see how they work. I haven't actually tried them yet. They fully rotate, of course. They go up better than horizontal, so that's nice. And then going all the way down, yeah, we can't get them straight down, but I think that's probably far enough. Let me ask you guys a question. I have to adjust my camera anyway. How do you guys feel about bringing arms down to the side on a figure? Is that super important to you, or is something like this enough? For me, this is probably enough. I rarely need them to go all the way down. More is better. It's always better to have more range, but I don't think this is like, oh, it's an A pose, it's no good sort of situation. How do you guys feel about that? Anyway, bicep swivel is fine. It actually fits on the shoulder for the most part, so that's good. That's a huge improvement over Maximum Deadpool. Elbow bends all the way. That's nice. He's still super gummy, by the way. Like, I'm pretty sure I could just rip his arm off if I wanted to. Oh, yeah. Or rip the joint. I might just rip the joint. It's such a soft plastic at this point. Like, it feels like it's getting softer, that they don't just pop off, they actually tear. So be careful. Wrists have a swivel and a hinge. That's fine, whatever. Like, that's not a super necessary joint. Doesn't matter. Alright, ab crunch on this guy, terribly sculpted. As soon as you go to use it, it gets all chunky and kibbly. And he leans back a little bit, he leans forward, and then you get your waist twist. It's fine. Like, this is such a cheap figure. This feels like it's probably, I don't know, $5 worth of design. I get that it's mostly new sculpt, maybe all the way new sculpt, but for what? For what are we getting here? All right, hips go out better than 45 by a little bit. Still a really ugly hip section. Ezra hasn't figured that out yet. Bring the legs forward, not quite to horizontal. They go back just a touch. Thigh swivel is hidden at the straps, so that's nice. Somebody mentioned in my Cyclops review that the straps are really high on Cyclops to do this cut. They're right. Cyclops' straps should be much lower. I have no idea about MORPH. Maybe he wears his straps a little higher. Leg works nicely. Proportioning is terrible. Way too long for the lower leg. And then as far as the knees go, it's a weird sculpt. It's really pointy and digs into the thigh. Somebody asked me the other day if Marvel Legends elbows have always been this ugly. No, the elbows and knees got way uglier when they started doing the pinless joints. They're very faceted and smooth. You can see the sharp edges around all the places on these joints, and it's a really ugly situation. They haven't always been like that. They did used to look better back when they used to sculpt the sides of the joints. I've talked about that before. If you guys want me to do a video on that kind of thing, I'll do that for you. But yeah, the joints have gotten way uglier. And by the way, for MORPH, he doesn't have a drop down. They just decided to do his hips at an angle, which is super strange. Like, it's not a huge deal. The way they did it doesn't really make a difference, but it's really strange. Wow, that's worse than I even figured. I saw that this was starting to chew up on the edges in there. You see that? So I wanted to see, and holy crap. They've done everything wrong on this joint. Everything is wrong on this. That's amazing to me. The Y doesn't make that much of a difference, because if you get the angles right, it doesn't get in the way, it doesn't really matter, and they're able to put the joint lower. That's still strange. You don't need to do that. But then they have it faceted, and there are nubbins on it. You don't want either of those things. That's going to chew this socket up so bad, this guy's going to end up loose in no time. And he's not loose now, or I mean, it's not stuck now because they made it loose enough that it wouldn't be stuck like that battle damaged Spider-Man. But you don't use facets and nubbins in PVC. It just doesn't work. That's the worst. I can't get over how bad that is. That's crazy. Anyway, you get your, I've said anyway like 3 times in this review. Too many asides. You get your boot swivel, and then the ankles go all the way back, all the way forward. That's good range. Ankle rocker is very steep, but given the noodly nature of his legs, you can just rotate it and the ankle rocker works. But damn, are those lower legs long. So his articulation, not even good for a Marvel Legends figure. I'll go 5 out of 10. This is a very underwhelming figure for, I'm guessing, what did I pay? I don't even know. I don't pay attention to Marvel Legends at all anymore. I just have to review them. $26? I think he's a $26 figure. If he was one of the $28 figures, I'm going to be done. I'll just be done with Marvel Legends. This is not a good quality figure. You know, people want to make fun of this one. Hang on a second. People want to make fun of this for $30. This is damn close to $30, and it's worse than this. And this is bad. It's like, what is happening? What is happening these days with these different companies and these popular IP? Oh my goodness. Yeah, this figure is not good. Whoever told me it was bad, you win. You were right. As a prize, I will send this to you. I'm not going to. There was a bunch of you, and I only have one of these. Oh man, I'll have to sell it for $3 in one of my sales. My Marvel Legends sale coming up soon. Okay, so time for a final verdict on this. I'm going to give it an overall rating of 4 out of 10. I guess if you're really into the 97 cartoon, it's like it could be worse for sure. It'll hold a spot on your shelf, but there are way too many problems with it. The head sculpt is really weird. Also, it doesn't look like he's supposed to have a nose in a lot of the things I've seen, like in passing and then on the artwork on the card. Like maybe a little lump, but their lump is bigger than the lump it looks like is on here. Like there's almost no lump there. And then for here he's got a big lump. Anyway, it just looks weird. And it's a low quality figure. I can't rate it higher than that. That's a really bad figure. I'm sorry if you like it, but it's just get a Darwin and pretend. Because that's a way better figure than this. Look at this head sculpt on Darwin. Someone really put effort into that. It's one of their best head sculpts, honestly. Anyway, that's a 4th one. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I'm done. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.